Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coach Chloe, the journey to self love. This is the first episode of our first series, and today we're going to talk about the I factor and what that means for you. So, here's a little bit about me. I'm a master certified coach with the International Coach Federation and a health and wellness coach with the National Medical Board. Let's get started on the journey of self love. When you think about a journey, what comes to mind? It means we're going from one place to another. There's a starting point and there's a destination. And in between that starting point and destination, there is an experience. That experience could be exploration, it could be discovery, and that's what the I factor is about. So imagine you are at the start of this journey. Imagine this is the first day of the rest of your life, or even if it's the first day of just today. Today is your starting point, and this is your present self. The destination will be your future self. What happens in between is the journey you are traveling. So, what do I mean by that? As you go on your journey in life, you are exploring new things, different things, things that make you comfortable, things that make you uncomfortable. You're discovering things about yourself and about other people. When you are in communication with other people, how they show up could show you things about who you are. You're learning, you like certain things, you don't like certain things, you are applying some of the stuff that you're learning. And at the end of the day, we want to think about, what have I learned? What has emerged? What do I look like right now? Every day will be your story, and you get to write your story. Every day will be your story, and you get to write your story. The beginning, the exploration, the discovery, and the destination. You know, there may be things and people that enter throughout the journey. There may be things and people that enter throughout your day. Being able to focus on you and learning to love yourself is key. So here's a little story that I want to share about me. When I went through my divorce, I remember going to the bank and I was going to have a name change. I was really excited. And here I am sitting with the banker across from me, and it was Valentine's Day. And so I said to her, Happy Valentine's Day. And she said to me, Oh, thank you. But I just don't have anybody to celebrate it with. She said, What about you? I said, Well, I'm really excited about celebrating Valentine's Day with myself. And then she said, Oh, wow. She said, Why? I said, Well, because I've just gone through a divorce. And for the first time, I'm getting to know me. And she said, I've been divorced, but can I give you a piece of advice? I said, Sure. And she said, 3 rules, which I want to give you today. 3 rules. Rule number one, love yourself. Rule number 2, love yourself. And rule number 3, love yourself. Because when you focus on you and start reflecting on you, then only can you start loving people around you. When you respect yourself, then only will you be able to respect those around you, what their beliefs are, whether you believe them or not, whether you agree with them or not. It's about learning how to respect yourself, your self-worth. This is the I factor. This is it. Every day will be your story, and you get to write your story. So here's what I want to encourage you about today, about this I factor. When you go to bed tonight, make a promise to yourself. And that promise is simple. The first thing I will do when I get up in the morning is smile. Why do I need to smile? I will smile because it is a day I get to write my story. Whether you feel like it or not, smile. There will be mornings when you get up and you may not feel like it, but force the smile. And before long, that smile will start to become real and true for you. So when you get to the mirror in the bathroom, the first experience of your reflection, you see a smiling face. That's the face people will see all day. But here's the amazing thing, you get to see your face first. You get to experience your smile first. It is the I factor. When you get to experience your smile first, you can look in the mirror in the morning and say, I found you. Let's spend the day together. And then take yourself on a journey for that day. Like we talked about, the journey is a beginning, a starting point where you are, an exploration during the day where you will discover things about yourself, things that you may like or may not like. And that day ends when you go to bed. What did I learn about myself today? Who am I now? How have I emerged? What is unique and different about me? So think about it. You go on your day and you're spending it with yourself. People are around you. But the more people surround us, we then start thinking about what they think about us. So humans tend to show up being on a behavior or saying something where we want to be heard. Or we may want to show someone who we are, what we're made of, what we know. We may want to share our story. Very often, that focus is taken away from us and what's coming up for us. And it gets meshed into the story of everybody. So I will challenge you at midday when it's the top of the hour. Remember to smile. Remember to smile. Because that's the promise you made to yourself. It's the promise that you making to yourself. And why? Because today you get to write your story. And all it takes is a smile. Remembering to smile because you are loving yourself, you're appreciating yourself, you're seeing your self-worth, you're seeing how unique you are. Do you know there is only one of you in this world? Do you know that only you can do what you do? Others may try, but only you can do what you do. Your DNA makes you unique. And so let's go through the day. In the morning, you get up, you smile. You go through your day, you do a check in, it's at the top of the hour, it's probably midday, and then the needle of the clock moves to maybe 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, it's afternoon. Now you want to turn up the dial. You've gone through half the day. Your mood may be great, you may be, or it may not, depending on what the day looks like. How do you want to turn up the dial? When you turn up the dial is on your face. Smile again. Imagine the power of that. Imagine if you are remembering to smile all day long because you know you are on a journey of self discovery. You are on a journey of self love. You are exploring, you're discovering, and you're writing your story. And you may get home, or if you're working from home and it's evening, here's your moment of gratitude. So, whether you have a journal or you want to write something in the notes of your phone, however you want to capture your thoughts for the day, smile. And maybe just even if you write the word smile, or if you wrote, I live today because I smiled for me. If you wrote something like that, or you could journal, I smiled and this is how it made me feel. Or you could write, I remember to smile at myself today. Just something simple. When you go to bed at night, remember it's the end of the journey of that day. The next day, you're going to write a new story, another story. You're going to build on the story. You're getting to write it. This is the I factor. I lived today. I smiled. I discovered something about myself. I'm becoming a new version of who I want to be. Until you get to a place where think about 5 years from now. If you met your best version, the best version of yourself on the street, will you recognize yourself based on where you are today? You want to be able to say, my futures to your future self, I've arrived at that moment. Now, here's the thing. When we get to our future self, it's not future anymore. It becomes your present self. And so your future self becomes the end of the next day, or the end of the week, or the end of the month, or the end of the year. Your future self is always moving, it's always a moving target. Why? Because we will always be writing our story. We will always be transforming. We will always be emerging based on what we're reflecting on. So remember to smile. It's the I factor. I'm going to leave you with this thought. Who you are becoming is greater than who you were before this moment. Let me say that again. Who you are becoming is greater than who you were before this moment. Remember to smile. You're on a journey and you get to write your story. For our next episode, get ready for the second step. What I love about myself is already inside of you. We're going to talk about how do you tap into the greatness that's already inside of you that you don't even know as yet. So remember, smile because you lived today. Until next time.